Nathan made $97,000 last year. Stephen made $155,000. At the end of the year, Nathan had more money, and Stephen couldn't figure out why? Give me 5 minutes, I'll explain you. Nathan takes the 9 to 5. Stephen freelances. They both think they made the smarter choice. They're both wrong because Nathan forgot to count what security actually costs him, and Stephen forgot to count what freedom actually costs him. And when you run the full numbers over 15 years, the gap between them is not what either of them expected. Let's keep this fair. Nathan and Stephen both graduate college at 22. Same degree, same city, same starting skill set. Nathan gets hired at a mid-size marketing firm. $52,000 base salary, health insurance, 401k with a 4% employer match, 2 weeks paid vacation, and a clear path to promotion. He tells his parents. They're proud. This is exactly what the plan was supposed to look like. Stephen takes 3 freelance clients he built during his senior year and turns them into a business. His first month, he invoices $3,800. His second month, $2,100. His third month, $5,600. The variance makes him nervous, but the ceiling feels unlimited. His coworkers, the ones who took jobs, tell him he's being reckless. He tells them he's being strategic. Neither of them really knows yet. On day 1, Nathan has stability, benefits, and a career ladder to climb. Stephen has autonomy, upside, and a spreadsheet full of uncertainty. It's not even close in terms of how it feels, but feelings and math are 2 very different things. For the first 3 years, Nathan is winning on paper. His salary increases to $57,000 by year 2 and $63,000 by year 3. He's contributing 6% to his 401k and getting the full 4% employer match. That's effectively 10% of his salary going toward retirement without touching his take-home pay. His health insurance costs him $180 a month through his employer. He takes his 2 weeks off every year without losing a dollar. Everything about his situation feels like solid ground. Stephen, meanwhile, is building something that looks chaotic from the outside. Year 1 gross revenue, $51,000. Year 2, $67,000. Year 3, $84,000. Those numbers look better than Nathan's salary. But here's what those numbers don't show. Stephen pays self-employment tax, which is 15.3% on top of his regular income tax. He pays for his own health insurance, roughly $400 to $500 a month for a decent individual plan. He has no employer 401k match. Every dollar he saves for retirement comes entirely from his own pocket. And in year 2, he had one client go silent for 3 months, owing him $11,000 that arrived 4 months late. He covered it, but just barely. Let's run the actual numbers through year 3. Nathan has earned roughly $172,000 in gross salary. After taxes and his 6% 401k contribution, his take-home is approximately $108,000 over 3 years. His employer has contributed an additional $8,600 into his retirement account. His health insurance cost him about $6,500 out of pocket. Net financial position after 3 years: solid, predictable, and quietly building in the background. Stephen has invoiced roughly $202,000 over 3 years. After self-employment tax, income tax, health insurance, and business expenses, his actual take-home is closer to $115,000 to $120,000. He's put $18,000 into a SEPIRA across those 3 years. On paper, Stephen is slightly ahead in take-home, but he also spent approximately 300 hours more than Nathan on administrative work. At year 3, they're surprisingly close in total wealth, but the hidden cost nobody's counting yet is time. Here's what's happening underneath the surface. Nathan's income is predictable, but it's also capped in a way Stephen's isn't. Nathan can get promoted, he can get a raise, but his income grows incrementally, in controlled steps, at a pace the company decides. Stephen's income has no ceiling, but it also has no floor. Year 4, Stephen lands a major retainer contract. His annual revenue jumps to $118,000. Year 5, he loses 2 clients in the same quarter and drops back to $79,000. The variance is real, and it never fully goes away. Nathan, by year 5, is earning $71,000. Steady, predictable, slightly boring. His 401k is now worth roughly $42,000, including employer contributions and market growth. He's never once thought about where next month's income is coming from. Stephen's year 5 numbers look better on the surface, but he's also spent $14,000 on health insurance over 5 years, paid an accountant $2,500 a year to handle the complexity of his taxes, and set aside a 3-month cash reserve just to survive the lean quarters. That reserve, about $20,000 sitting in a savings account, is real money that's not invested, not growing, just sitting there as insurance against income gaps. By year 5, Nathan has lower gross income, but higher financial efficiency. Every dollar he earns converts to wealth more cleanly. Stephen has higher gross income, but more friction in the system. This is where the story starts to separate. Let's look at the scoreboard at year 10. Nathan has been promoted twice. He's now earning $88,000. His 401k, with consistent contributions, employer matching, and market growth, is worth approximately $145,000 to $160,000. He's taken 10 years of paid vacation. He's never paid a health insurance premium above $220 a month. He's never had a month where he didn't know exactly what his paycheck would be. Stephen's gross revenue in year 10 is averaging $140,000 to $155,000 annually. His SEPIRA is worth roughly $130,000 to $145,000. But his actual financial picture is more complicated. Over 10 years, he spent approximately $52,000 on health insurance. He's paid $25,000 in accounting and administrative costs. He's maintained a cash reserve that's averaged $25,000 to $30,000 sitting idle. And he's had 2 significant income gaps, one lasting 4 months, one lasting 6, where revenue dropped more than 60%. When you net everything out at year 10, Nathan's total financial position puts him at roughly $180,000 to $210,000 in investable assets. Stephen's total position, accounting for higher gross income but higher costs and the idle cash reserve, puts him at approximately $190,000 to $230,000. Stephen is slightly ahead, but the gap is nowhere near what his revenue numbers suggested it should be. Here's the part that changes the math entirely: lifestyle and hours. Nathan works approximately 2,000 hours a year. He takes vacation. He has nights and weekends. He doesn't think about work at 11 p.m. unless something unusual is happening. Stephen works approximately 2,600 to 2,800 hours a year. When you include client management, business development, invoicing, and the mental overhead of running something, that's 600 to 800 extra hours annually. Over 10 years, That's 6,000 to 8,000 hours that never showed up in any income comparison. If Steven values his time at even $30 an hour, that's $180,000 to $240,000 in unlisted labor costs. The financial gap between them doesn't just close, it inverts. Now, if I only showed you the downsides of freelancing, I'd be doing exactly what every 9-to-5 defender does. Employment has real costs that nobody puts in the spreadsheet. Nathan's income ceiling is real. At $88,000 in year 10, he's earning well. But the company decides his raises. The company decides his title. The company decides whether his role exists next year. He's watched colleagues get restructured out with 2 weeks' notice after a decade of loyalty. He's never fully forgotten that. His skills are also narrowing. Nathan has gotten very good at one company's way of doing things. Steven has worked with 12 different industries over 10 years and can sell, manage, deliver, and scale across all of them. Nathan's market value is tied to one track. Steven's market value keeps compounding on its own. And the 401k match, as valuable as it is, comes with vesting schedules. If Nathan left his company before year 4, he would have forfeited a significant portion of those employer contributions. The match is real, but it's also a financial leash. Golden handcuffs disguised as a benefit. If your skills are in high demand and genuinely scarce, the income premium is real and sustainable. A freelance software engineer, a specialized consultant, a creative director with a track record can earn 2 to 3 times the equivalent salary without proportionally higher costs. If you treat it as a real business from day one, not a side hustle, not a lifestyle experiment, but a business with systems, contracts, retainer clients, and a financial buffer, and if you build the right client base, the ceiling truly is unlimited in a way employment never is. If your field has strong benefits that would cost significantly more on the open market, the compensation math is much closer than the salary numbers suggest. If you genuinely value predictability, not as a weakness, but as a strategic choice, the 9-to-5 provides infrastructure that's genuinely hard to replicate. And if you're early in your career and your skills aren't yet differentiated, employment builds them faster. Nathan learned things at his company that took Steven years to figure out the hard way in front of clients on his own time. Nathan is earning $97,000. His retirement accounts total approximately $280,000 to $320,000. He's had 15 years of uninterrupted income, employer contributions, and paid time off. His total investable net worth sits around $300,000 to $350,000. Steven's average annual revenue over 15 years is approximately $130,000. After all costs, his take-home has averaged roughly $82,000 to $90,000. His retirement accounts total approximately $240,000 to $270,000. His total investable net worth, including the cash reserve he's always maintained, sits around $280,000 to $330,000. They're in the same ballpark, again. After 15 years of Nathan having a salary cap and Steven having unlimited upside, they've arrived at nearly identical wealth positions. The real trap isn't the 9-to-5, and it isn't freelancing. The real trap is choosing either one based on the income number without mapping out what it actually costs in time, stress, benefits, and behavioral friction over a decade. Nathan didn't lose because he took a job. He won on consistency and lost on ceiling. Steven didn't win because he freelanced. He won on ceiling and lost on efficiency. And if you're wondering what happens when Steven starts hiring people, when he builds a team, when his business stops depending entirely on his hours, that's a completely different conversation. And the math changes everything. But for now, the next time someone tells you freelancing always wins, or the 9 to 5 is the safe, smart play, ask them one question. Did you include everything? Because the answer that includes everything is the only answer that matters.
If this changed how you think about savings, hit the like button and subscribe, because on this channel, we're not just talking about making more money. We're talking about making sure the money you already have is actually working for you.